It's your boy Big Baby. Support sporting icons for latest boxing news. Cheeseburger.
So tonight over on Showtime in the US, and for us in the UK, you're talking Box Nation BT Sport, is the event for ERISLANDY LARA versus JARRETT HURD. And this will be for the IBF, IBO and WBA super welterweight titles, £154 if you like. They both had their weigh-in yesterday, with Lara weighing 153.5 and Hurd weighing 153 exactly. So Lara, although the much smaller guy, weighed in just a little bit more. With ERISLANDY LARA, he's 5'9" and Hurd 6'1". So very, very good fight. Obviously Hurd, he's undefeated in 21 fights with 15 knockouts. And with ERISLANDY LARA, he has a record of 25 wins, 14 by knockout, 2 draws, 2 losses. And 2 of his losses are Saul Alvarez, where he lost on points by split decision, and a lot of people actually had him winning that fight. And he lost a little bit earlier in his career against Paul Williams. Very, very good technical fighter in ERISLANDY LARA. Not the biggest puncher in the world. From Cuba. Now, of course, Cuba, they're having a bit of a torrid time in the pro ranks at the minute. Obviously, with Rigondeaux, Dorticas, Luis Ortiz, all these guys losing. And maybe, is there some kind of fate going on with Cuban boxers? I mean, let's hope not. But either way, this is a very, very exciting fight. Unification at 154. And these guys both putting their belts on the line in a very, very good, huge fight, really. But who's the favourite? Depends on which side of the fence that you really look at, I suppose. Lara and Hurd both have huge followings. I would imagine Hurd is probably the favourite. I haven't looked at the bookies. I don't do betting or anything like that. But with Lara, I mean, if you look at some of the people that he's beaten, they're not really of elite class, really. I mean, the nearest you can probably get to maybe Austin Trout, but, you know, that is what that one is. Austin Trout, he'd already lost on that point anyway. And since Canelo Alvarez, he's been on a bit of a run of beating people who are not that good, really. I mean, they're good, but they're not top class, you know. They're really, really not. I mean, Delvin Rodriguez had lost 7 fights previous to that. His last fight against Terrell Gausha was undefeated. He was 20-0. And he got a unanimous decision victory over him. So, but ERISLANDY LARA is much better than a lot of people. Some people say he's the best at 154. Other people say Hurd, due to his height and his knockout as well. So out of his 21 wins, undefeated, 15 of those by knockout. He's much, much bigger, noticeably bigger as well. So if he was to play it smart, he could keep Lara at range. But Lara, very, very fast hands, very fast feet. So he's really going to have to be patient in this one, I think. But if Hurd lands, who knows what can happen. Now, of course, Hurd, he's also beaten Austin Trout as well. And that was probably his biggest win, really. I mean, Oscar Molina, he was undefeated. And, I mean, he's beaten quite a few undefeated fighters over the last year or two. Jeff Lentz. But again, he shouldn't have really been in with Jeff Lentz, because that was only Jeff Lentz's 6th pro fight. Oscar Molina, he was undefeated with 13 fights, well, 14 fights. One of them was a draw. But he hasn't really done too much that's impressive, really. But, of course, he did win the title. It was a vacant title by beating Tony Harrison, who had lost 1 fight previous to that. And he beat him by technical knockout in round number 9. And then he went on and beat Austin Trout. Now he's unifying against ERISLANDY LARA in very, very quick time. So, not like the other champions to do so, right? As in Jamel Charlo, you know, he talks a lot but don't step up. But these two are stepping up, and Lara not afraid of anybody. And this is a huge step-up fight for JARRETT HURD. It's going to be technical versus brawn. Is pretty much what it's going to be. If JARRETT HURD lands on him, it could be good night. But he's really going to have to watch his midriff. I would imagine that Lara is planning on tiring him out, maybe. And he's already said that he doesn't believe that he can go the distance. But JARRETT HURD also said that ERISLANDY LARA, he tends to tire in the second half of the fights. So maybe come second half, it's going to be a bit of a slugfest because both of them are going to be out on their feet at times. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. But with the age, like I said, Lara 34 years old, Hurd 27, you could probably go with youth on this one. But for me, how Jarrett Hurd makes 154, I'll never know. He should be at least a middleweight, maybe super middleweight for you know, his height. He's a very, very big guy for this weight, of course. Now, my pick for this fight, I believe it's going to be Jarrett Hurd. It wouldn't surprise me if Lara was to win, of course. I can only see Lara winning on points, but ultimately I think Jarrett Hurd is going to do it either by knockout or points. But I'm going to go by knockout. I think he's going to stop ERISLANDY LARA. But we'll have to wait and see on that one, of course. But with Lara, I said he's never been stopped. He's only ever lost on points. But he's a very, very technical fighter. He's very good at winning rounds. So Jarrett Hurd has got it all to do in this fight. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure you guys are too, if you get a chance to watch it. If not, wake up in the morning. Try and find it somewhere. So drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.